I think we have to mute somebody.
Yeah,
I got
who's, get background noise.
All right. Wendy, you're muted.
Wendy, you're muted.
Yeah, let me see.
She muted everybody and muted me too.
Oh, I muted everybody? I thought
Well,
I
I don't know.
muted.
You muted me. I was unmuted. Anyways, did
Whoopsie.
you all hear the opening or no?
We did not.
You did not. Okay, so I will redo it. I gave a welcome to everybody to the Bridgewater Conservation Commission meeting. It is January 23rd, 2025. We have a quorum, so we'll open the meeting, and it is now probably 5:31 p.m. For the record, the members and staff present are Harry Bailey, Marilyn McDonald, Eileen Prisco, Caitlin Putt, the conservation agent, and myself, Wendy Smith. I'll now read the governor's order for online meetings into the record. Oh, no, I won't, because I closed it. Give me a sec.
You want me to read it, Wendy?
I got it. It was just a matter of like, I don't know why I closed it. I got it. Disclosure pursuant to Section 20 of Chapter 20 of the Acts of 2021, an act relative to extending certain COVID-19 measures adopted during the state of emergency. This meeting of the Conservation Commission for the town of Bridgewater will be hybrid and accessible to the public through remote participation to the greatest extent possible. There will be no public attendance permitted. Citizens who wish to tune in to the meeting may do so via Zoom. The link or the dial-in phone number are always located on the bridgewaterma.org website. So just a quick what's going on tonight. We have the call to order. Public hearings, we have old business, notice of intent, 1968 South Street, map 125, lot 17. We have no new business. We have some Conservation Commission business, including administrative items, certificate of compliance for Jenkins Road, Jenkins Pond on High Street, map 10, lot 40 and 41, a certificate of compliance for 554 Forest Street, map 99, lot 24 and 25. We have Lakeshore cease and desist discussion, 1157 Pleasant Street cease and desist discussion, 0 Bedford enforcement order update, 0 Prison Road, Rainbow's End update, and an open meeting law complaint discussion, a review of minutes, and adjournment. So, starting with old business, the notice of intent is for 1968 South Street, map 125, lot 17. The applicant representative is Mark McLeod, JK Holmgren Engineering, LLC. The DEP file number is SE116-1560. So, do we need to, I don't know, does a representative from the project, or do we want to share what was found when you did the site walk? Marilyn? I don't know if I go through it in regular, do I go through it in regular order?
If the applicant's on, you can start with him.
Scott's
Okay.
here.
Okay, yep. Thank you. Good evening, Commission members. Scott Faria from Holmgren Engineering. I guess as you recall from our last meeting, I think the only issue we had left was a review of the wetlands line. We've got a couple of things, I guess, to add to that. I have a plan that I'd like to share if possible.
Yep, let me give you permission to share.
And I say if possible, mainly because I always struggle with sharing plans more than waiting on Caitlin to give me approval, but I will try.
All right, you have to go ahead.
All right. I'm hoping you folks see a plan.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, wonderful. So this is my current plan, my existing conditions plan that was submitted to you, that shows our wetlands line, noted right here, flagged by Environmental Consulting and Restoration, Brad Holmes, back in August. And that is the line shown in green. I've superimposed the line in blue, which is Ken Thompson's line, which you folks approved in your order of conditions back in August, I believe, of 2020. So as you can, I know there was some questions back and forth about the wetlands line. My point being that in most cases, a significant case here, our green current wetlands line is much more conservative than the previously approved wetlands line. In a lot of cases, they're right on top of each other. But again, the green line is current, the blue line is your previously approved line. So it's, as I said, we're being more conservative than what you folks had already approved. In just about all cases, again, the proposed work is just to update the plans to kind of reconfigure a detention basin that's up in this area here outside of the 25-foot buffer zone. So, you know, we're really hoping that we could push the project along without that much of a concern. We did go out there actually this afternoon to view the wetlands flags, and all the flags we saw were clearly labeled with the ECR A27 in a couple of locations, pink and black letters, so that all the flags are still clearly marked, you know, where they're just 4 months old. So all of those are clearly marked. We really hope that we could kind of push the ball forward and be okay with the wetlands line as flagged by Brad at ECR, and as I said, as shown, that's a little more conservative than what you folks had already gone through and vetted previously. You know, not that it's entirely related, but if we weren't changing the actual detention basin, if we weren't changing the location of the basin, with the governor's new housing laws that she's passed, we actually, the previous order of conditions issued in 2020 would have been told for 2 extra years. So we would still, if we weren't moving the basin, we would still be allowed to use this blue the blue line that you folks approved back in 2020. So we're just hoping we can move it forward, Madam Chair and Commission members. I'm kind of throwing a whole bunch of reasons at you, but that's ultimately what we're looking for.
Okay. All right. Thank you, Scott. So I don't know if there's a discrepancy to what was seen when they went out to the field. Caitlin, do you have anything you want to share on this? Or I can send it to
So-
Marilyn.
I went out there originally with Marilyn. However, the most recent site visit was on Friday. Marilyn and Harry went out there, so I'll throw it to one of them to kind of give their take on what they saw on Friday afternoon.
Okay.
All right, I'll start and then throw it to Harry. So we're not going to be able to move this on tonight. This is a questionable line. I honestly have never been out there, and I honestly have reservations of how that other line was approved, to be honest with you. So when I went out with Harry, we weren't seeing, there was clearly those areas of my concern that there was we could not find any lettering on the pink flags are the new ones, the black and other ones are the old ones. I don't know if the storm hit it or what,
No,
but I was like, they were out there the day I was with Caitlin, and we could not find any numbers on the areas that we were looking at. So it was wetter when I was out there that day with Harry. He was able to auger. There was hydric soils. I was trying to save you to get that relettered again so we could, move some of these flags back. But this is a definite area of concern for me. And Harry, I'll let you weigh on, almost to the point where I'm thinking maybe even a third party review at this point. But Harry, I'll let you weigh in.
Could I just want the current flags are pink and black, not pink. The pink ones, I think, are the old ones from 2020. The current ECR
The black and pink were the ones that were nubs and ripped off. Caitlin, you were out with me that day. We were directed to look at the pink ones.
Yeah, I sent Caitlin pictures again, it was 10 minutes ago, so I don't expect you folks to have that in your packets or have it, but I just sent the pictures from literally 4:30 this afternoon of flag numbers that are still clearly marked.
So Caitlin, when we were out there, we were looking at the solid pink flags that had numbers on them.
I believe
And those
so,
were the ones
yeah.
we were in. Yeah. So, I mean, even the black and white ones still have areas of question. Some of them we definitely agreed with, but there's still, there's still questions of concern out there. So, and that's another, now you're telling me the different, like the flag. So nobody met us at 3. That was another thing. I don't know if that got miscommunicated, but me and Harry did our thing. So Harry, I'll let you wave in.
Okay, I'm looking at the map right now, and it's pretty close to the 200-foot riparian zone anyway, so,
Mhm.
which goes through lots 103 and 104. On that line, it is going to be very strict because that's along the Wild and Scenic Taunton River, and that has a 200-foot protected.
Hmm.
Because it's wild and scenic, it's a protected area and nothing goes on in it. It's for the animals follow the river. And
Yeah,
that is done by the Congress and is
Yeah.
held by the National Park Service, and I am the chair of that committee.
Yeah, and we're not working within that 200-foot riparian zone
Well,
at all.
that's for future reference.
Right, okay.
But
But-
kind of, I think when we were looking to pull it back, you might be close to that 200, because in that area of those 830, 29 that we clearly saw that day, Caitlin, with the numbers on it, they weren't on there again. So Harry, sorry, continue on, please.
We were looking at 829 and 830. 827's already in the zone, but we were looking at those two and pulling them back up where the slope is. That part's down in the flat part of the
Mhm.
and it's wet. Moving it back, I don't know, it's probably like 5-10 feet. But it's just that one little area there,
Yeah. Then,
29, 30, and 31.
yeah,
Harry, can you
that's
confirm,
it.
we didn't see any numbers when we were out there, and that's what was throwing me off again.
I'm going by the map.
Yeah, we didn't see any numbers.
I mean, if we would certainly be willing to say, well, we can, again, looking at my plan, I hope you can still see my cursor buzzing around here.
Mhm.
Yeah,
I mean, we'd be fine with connecting a line from 829 straight across to 832 and eliminate
That would
830
be
and
fine.
831.
yeah. I
You know,
like that.
That moves you up gradient on 30 and 31, probably more than 10 feet. We would
Yep.
certainly be fine with bumping that right across and, save us the pain of going to a third party and the delays that those would cost. We'd be fine with making that adjustment
That
entirely.
works.
But I'm gonna have to get out there again too, because again, now we've got conflicting flags. You are smack, even with the black and pink ones and the other ones, you were smack in the wetlands. I mean, Harry can confirm that we were standing in the wetlands. So we'll have to get those, the appropriate flags that we're looking at. And, I didn't have a problem moving them back. I just wanted, this is why I want to make sure we're on the same page with this, but you definitely have to come back. It's a questionable right there. You're smacking them in the wetlands.
So it
Well-
sounds like, can we attempt to like meet again with you, Scott, or
Yeah,
someone
if we could,
from your
if we could
firm?
set a,
And
yeah, thank you, Madam Chair. If we could set a date and a time and we'll be there and we'll have the botanists out there. I mean, again, if we're just talking those two flags, we're more
It's
than,
a little bit more than two. It's that general area. There's a little bit more of a concern that, 832 to 29, that area right there is where you're really in the wetlands, to be honest with you.
yeah.
But you got room to move it back.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
I think we're splitting hairs that it isn't all that critical. Like it isn't all that, I'm not saying the wetland isn't critical. It's not that critical to the project. We've got room, as you just said, to move things back. So that's why I'm saying we'd be fine just connecting the dots and eliminating the other two. But, yeah, so you're right. We've got room. So certainly if we could have a site visit and have a date and a time and everybody be there, I'm sure we can resolve it right then.
okay, I'm looking at A33 too, like that's inside the old blue line.
Yeah.
So I don't know if that, if you go from A34 to A32
Yep.
to A29 and take out the inner,
The inner flags, I see exactly what you're saying. That would certainly be fine in all those instances.
okay. So why don't we do that then, and we'll come back next meeting. When is the next meeting?
Should be February 13th, Chair.
The 13th, yeah. So if we can plan that like for sometime next week, weather permitting, and then, fix what needs to be fixed, and then we can maybe move on it on the 13th of February.
And that would certainly give me time to get a revised set of plans to Caitlin for you folks in plenty of time for the next meeting, Madam Chair.
Okay, all right, that sounds good. So do
if-
we want to make a motion on that to continue?
So the continuance is, anybody in the audience first?
Oh, yeah, sorry about that. Are there any abutters or, yep, can't find my words. Citizens that want to have a comment, question, or anything? Raise your hand, use the raise your hand feature on Zoom.
I'm not seeing anybody, Chair.
Okay, thank you. All right, so now, do we have a motion to continue 1968 South Street, map 125, lot 17 to February 13th?
Yep, Chair can entertain a motion to continue 1968 South Street, map 125, lot 17 to January.
February.
February. Wow.
February
this month's
13th.
losing. February 13th.
Second,
Thank you. A roll call vote, Marilyn?
Aye.
Harry?
aye.
Eileen?
Aye.
And myself, Wendy? Aye.
All right. Thank
All
you,
right,
Chair.
thanks. So we'll see you the next time, Scott, in your office. Be in touch with Caitlin and we'll set up a time.
We'll try to set something up for next week. It's gonna be 50 degrees and sunny all week, so it'll be better walking.
And Scott, and
Nice.
if you could just confirm that you've identified the proper flags, like, you know, the current flags and that there's numbers on them, that would be great.
We
Because
certainly,
we saw where we could move it back to. So
Yep.
just want to make sure
Okay.
we're on the same page. All right, thank you.
very good. Look forward to seeing you folks on the site. Thanks for your time.
All right, thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye. Okay, so next up, we have no new business. We have conservation business, administrative items, certificate of compliance, Jenkins Pond High Street, map 10, lot 40 and 41. The applicant representative is Blythe Robinson, SLR Consulting, DP file number is SE 116 1485. I forget how we do these COCs.
So I'll make a motion. Caitlin, I'm assuming everything is okay with the certificate of compliance, seeing that they're on the agenda. Any concerns?
Correct, yes.
So I would make a motion for Chair to entertain certificate of compliance, Jenkins Pond High Street, map 10, lot 40, 41.
Second,
Thank you. Roll call vote, Marilyn,
Aye.
Harry,
aye.
Eileen,
Aye.
and myself, Wendy. Aye. All right, next up, we have certificate of compliance for 554 Forest Street, map 99, lot 24 and 25. The SC file number is 116 301.
All right, I would make a motion, same thing, certificate of compliance, 554 Forest Street, map 99, lot 24, 25. Who issue?
Thank you. Second.
Second,
Thank you. Roll call vote, Marilyn,
Aye.
Harry,
aye.
Eileen,
Aye.
and myself, Wendy. Aye. Okay, next up, we have Lakeshore cease and desist. So do you want to speak on that, Caitlin?
Yeah, I'll touch on that. So, last week we discussed, kind of a change in plans because the previous meeting, there was mention of, you know, issuing a certificate of non-compliance and then, the applicant submitting a new NOI. However, with it being a violation, you know, an enforcement order makes more sense. So I have drafted that, and kind of got a few members' takes on that. So I'm gonna send that out in the mail, and get the ball rolling with that. So once that's issued, the applicant can come up with the vegetated management plan. You guys will then review it, and then once that's solidified, you guys approve it. They can follow that and then that will bring them back into compliance so they can get a certificate of compliance and then file a new NOI. So yeah, the latest update with that is the enforcement's drafted up and that's gonna go out in the mail.
Okay, great. Any questions? Anyone have questions on the board?
I looked at it, I think extending it maybe to February 27th, which you could, I think it's the 27th, just to give them time. I don't know how long a VMP takes, but they, you know, courtesy of a month wouldn't be a bad thing.
Right, and they can't do anything in the meantime either.
Right, the cease
I
and
mean,
desist
I
has to
forget the
stay in place.
dates. What are the dates? When can they
But they
start?
can't even, it doesn't matter what they still can't do anything until they come in with a new notice of intent
Right,
and an order of conditions. So even if it comes, spring, they still can't go out there
right.
because
But do
they're
you
not,
remember what
under
the
any
date?
order of conditions.
I
So we're
understand
on
that.
cease and desist until they get a new order of conditions.
I understand that. But do you remember what the dates are? Is it April 1st to October
No,
1st?
I'd have to look it up offhand.
Yeah, yeah,
It's
okay.
maybe May, something like that.
Yeah, okay,
Which if they get right in, they should, be able to get that work done.
right. Okay. All right, anybody have any questions about that? The Lake Shore cease and desist? No? Okay. And next up is 1157 Pleasant Street. There's a cease and desist discussion. And I am not sure about that. So Caitlin, do you want to?
Yeah, I'll touch on that as well. So I went out to the fire station site on January 15th, which was, that was a Thursday. So when I went to the site, I noticed on 1157 Pleasant Street, there was ground disturbance. There was a heavy machinery in the area of the vernal pool that's located on the fire station property. And there were also stockpiles of fill and stone that was within that 100-foot buffer. I was out there with Eric Diaz, who was working on the fire station over there, but he had a crew checking out the retaining wall, and they were able to mark out the 100-foot buffer just so it was clear that the fill and where the ground disturbance happened was in the buffer zone. So I did issue a cease and desist that went out last Friday. Certified mail, just stating my observations on the site and to just discontinue work until they contacted the office. And the owner did end up coming into the office today. So I did have a conversation with her, just saying, you need to move it out of the buffer zone. And if you have machinery coming in, you got to make sure it's out of that 100-foot. So she said, okay, she'll work on, removing the stockpiling of soil and the stones as well. So, she said she'd contact me when that's all set and I'll go back out there and just confirm that everything is moved out of the 100-foot.
Okay, good. Thanks for paying attention. Anybody else have questions on the commission?
So Caitlin, are we gonna issue an enforcement order on that? Are we holding off? Is that a larger area? Was there any filling of the wetlands out there?
There's no filling of so the issues, the vernal pool's on the fire station property.
Yep.
Mhm.
So they're just within the buffer zone, on the neighboring property. So I think I'm gonna hold off on an enforcement order because she came in and,
Dealt with
I
it.
explained what I wanted her to do. She said, that's reasonable. So I'm gonna be in contact with her. Obviously if things don't change, we can go to the enforcement order, but where she came in and had a conversation with me and was willing, to move
To
everything
amend it.
out, I'm comfortable, letting her move that and then I'll go out there and check.
Working with them. Okay, sounds good. They came in. All right, thank you.
So what was it, like in the parking lot, in their parking lot area?
Yeah, it was it's like right next to the parking lot, kind of in between the parking lot and then the new house that's back there.
Mm-hmm. Okay. All right. Next up is Zero Bedford enforcement order update. Caitlin, you're up too, again.
All right, so last update I had, I mentioned that I looped in the DEP strike force, and they assist with, enforcements where you can't get in contact with the owner, which is the issue we're having on this property. And I actually did hear back from them. They said they're gonna reach out to the owner, and based off of that phone call, whether they can, reach him or not, they'll get back to me, and kind of let me know how to proceed with that. But DEP does have eyes on it and is, looking into it. So that's a
Okay.
good thing.
Great. Now that's the one that's out by, across from the skating rink?
Yeah,
We've
yep,
been
that's
talking
where they
about.
dumped the fill,
Yep.
and they cut some
Cut
trees.
down trees,
Yep.
yep. Okay. Anybody else on the commission have any questions or thoughts or whatever?
I'm very familiar with the things that they've taken.
Okay. Harry or Eileen?
I'm good.
Okay.
Where I work right down the street, I check it quite often.
Mm-hmm. All right. Next up is Zero State Prison, Rainbow's End update.
All
Caitlin?
right, so for that one, I received an email from DEP on January 21st, and they said the work has been completed. The only thing left to do is the reseeding. So I reached out to the soccer association just to see what kind of seating they would want for the field. They did use the trucking mats, but you know, there was still a little bit of disturbance with the trucks going over them. So they're just gonna reseed. And the soccer association has their own seeding, so they're gonna provide that to DEP. So that's the only thing left to do. All the contaminated soil has been excavated.
Removed.
Yep.
Excellent. So I just have a question. The reseeding is for where the tracks are from the trucks, but they're
Yeah, they
supposed
put down
to
those
do
mats,
some
but
kind of, yeah, but they're supposed to do a different kind of seating inside, I believe.
yes, correct.
Right? Okay. All right. Anybody else have any questions about that?
Familiar with the things.
Okay. Last up, we have a new open meeting law complaint discussion regarding the minutes, I believe. But I
Yeah.
guess there is no complaint. There is no whatever. So Caitlin, I'll let you talk about it.
So, just to summarize, this open meeting law complaint was about the minutes. There was mention of minutes dated January 25th, 2024 being inaccurate. And that not being revised. And there was also mention of the minutes ceasing to be posted after July 27th. So I would like to ask the board if they would like to respond or not and get their thoughts on that, and we'll take a formal vote on that.
It's not an open meeting. I'm not gonna respond.
Yeah, I don't understand why it's why if it's an open meeting law complaint, like I don't understand. That's you know, maybe an error or with all the changes and stuff that took place within the conservation. If things didn't get posted, I don't think that, what does that have to do with open meeting law? Like, I don't know, maybe I'm just ignorant.
I know there is a time frame where minutes should be posted,
Mhm.
which obviously wasn't met, but it was due to, you know, staffing issues and there wasn't an agent for a while. So when I came on, I had, I don't know, probably 10 or so minutes to catch up on, which we are caught up now, which is great. It's much more manageable to do one set of minutes
When you have
per
one
meeting.
or
Yep.
two, yeah,
So,
That means staffing issues, that's simple.
yeah, yep.
yep.
You know,
Yep, so
I think we've resolved it, you know, as best we could with the staffing that we had.
mhm.
So we won't put any more time on this. I'll make a motion to not.
Yeah,
respond
well,
to,
Eileen lit up.
Oh, well, sorry, Eileen.
Oh, that's all right. I just, I believe it was all staffing issues and, you know, there's nothing we can do about that. Like, nobody can, you know, perform something that's not their job and not have the time to do it. So this is just, to me, ridiculous. But whatever.
And I'll chime in now. At the beginning of the meeting, you play this little message that the meeting is being recorded.
Right.
Those could stand for the minutes in between, and there's no mistakes in that.
Right.
Point.
And they're on YouTube.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they're very accurate.
So
So
it's
yeah,
it's a useless violation, and it's not a violation because
Yeah.
it's already recorded.
That's a good point, Harry. Thank you.
very good point.
You need an actual vote, Caitlin?
Yeah, if we could just do a formal vote,
right.
just so.
I'll make a motion then for Chair to entertain open meeting law complaint, not responding.
Second.
Thank you. Roll call vote. Marilyn,
Aye.
Harry,
Aye.
Eileen,
I,
and myself, Wendy. Aye. All right, thanks. And minutes. I know Marilyn said she didn't get a chance actually to look at them. I did look at them
but I
briefly.
wasn't-
I-
So I'm not, if the others looked at them, fine, but I didn't get to look at them. It's only 1 month. If we, I can get them done before the next meeting, but if everybody else certainly did it, there's a majority that could vote them in.
In all honesty, I did not. I briefly looked at it. They looked good to me, but I did not read through every single thing that was on there.
I didn't either.
Okay, so we'll take a look.
Y'all get the badge of honor for not lying.
Put them on for next meeting.
Yeah, that's
Caitlin,
fine.
and then we'll make sure to get them along with this one.
Okay, do we need a formal vote to motion
No.
to continue?
No, we're just not voting them in.
Oh.
That's all.
All right, that sounds good. So next up, we have our last on the agenda.
Oh my God, motion to adjourn.
Thank you. We have a second?
Yes.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Have a good night,
All right.
everybody.
Thanks, everybody. Bye, Caitlin.